America is an uncharted territory. We are angrier and more deeply divided than we've ever been at any point in our history since the Civil War. And at the eye of the storm is Donald Trump, ripping families apart, threatening women's most basic rights, and running for Attorney General because I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake. From the Muslim ban to efforts to deport immigrants, to denying transgender students the ability to choose whatever bathroom they want, rolling back regulations to protect our planet, colluding with foreign powers, putting profits over people, and dividing us in ways we haven't seen in generations. I believe that this president is incompetent. I believe that this president is ill-equipped to serve in the highest office of this land. And I believe that he is an embarrassment to all that we stand for. He should be charged with obstructing justice. I believe that the President of these United States can be indicted for criminal offenses. And we would join with law enforcement and other attorneys general across this nation in removing this president from office.
And what would you say to people who say, oh, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person?
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
I love it. You probably.
No one is above the law, including this illegitimate president. And so, I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, defending your rights, and then going home.
We are filing a lawsuit against Donald Trump.
A ruling in a civil lawsuit brought by New York's Attorney General found the former president and his company deceived banks and insurers by massively overvaluing his assets on paperwork used in business dealings. The suit seeks $250 million in damages and a ban on Trump from doing business in New York.
Breaking news in the fraud trial for former President Donald Trump. A judge moments ago issuing a partial gag order in the case.
The reason for the gag order was apparently a social media post that Trump made attempting to portray the judge's law clerk, of all people, as a Democratic operative.
Trump's comments were offensive, they were baseless, they were void of any facts and or any evidence. What they were comments that unfortunately fomented violence, and comments that I would describe as race baiting.
That's the best you could do?
Her numbers are fraudulent. She's a fraud. Her numbers are fraudulent, and this case should be dismissed. This trial is a total witch hunt, and I should be entitled to a jury like everybody else is entitled to a jury. I have no rights to have a jury. It's ridiculous. Thank you very much.
Problem is that, you have James now being shown in the background. You've got Trump in the foreground, and it fulfills the narrative on both sides. Trump is likely
fairly frequently to explain the president's position. To his left, he sits. I don't know if Letitia James is there today because I don't know if the camera found her.
I see her in her usual spot there. Is that her on the left?
Okay, gotcha.
In the pink dress, I believe.
Points for McCallum on the spot there. I don't know if we're going to see the judge. We did on Monday. I'm not so sure we did yesterday. And if that's the case, I'm left the question why. That's not conclusive. Let's give it a moment. We'll give it a beat and see whether or not that photographer takes in the entire room. There were still photographers as well the other day. There is Letitia James, as she sits in the same spot where she was on Monday, at that point staring right at the defendant, in this case the former president, Donald Trump. So that is... I'm just very curious to know.
Oh, there he is.
There we go. Okay,
There's the judge.
So no one's off limits. That's what we wanted to establish here. When the cameras come in, they can take pictures of anyone inside that courtroom.
The state is now seeking $250 million in fines and a lifetime ban on the Trumps from doing business in New York. The defense has insisted that real estate values are subjective, that no one was deceived or defrauded, and that Trump's bankers profited from the loans.
Trump has filed a lawsuit against Judge Engoron.
He's accused him and James of ignoring an appeals court order to narrow the case.
I have no case against Trump. But I'm here, stuck here, and I can't campaign. I'd rather be right now in Iowa. I'd rather be in New Hampshire or South Carolina or Ohio or a lot of other places, but I'm stuck here because I have a corrupt attorney general that communicates with the DOJ in Washington to keep me nice and busy because I'm leading Biden in the polls by a lot.